Yo, what up? It's B-Boy.
Timmy Tim.
What's going on, guys? We're back. We're gonna do an interview. But first, before we get into that, I want a quick shout out. Once you start going big, we're gonna put some merchandise out, t-shirts, armbands, wristbands, hats, skateboards, just really cool merchandise, posters, coffee mugs, coasters, a bunch of stuff, and hopefully that'll make our channel grow. And if anything, you guys can tell some sponsors to like help us with that. That would really help a lot.
All right, so obviously the sites, now he doesn't know this, but I've been around a couple YouTubers, and the sites that they use, you know, to get donations, if you've heard of Patreon. But obviously we can't do that now. But in the future, if you guys want to hit us up, we'll probably use PayPal, Patreon. We'll sign up at Teespring, which I see a lot of famous YouTubers use. Some of my favorite YouTubers use that. We're gonna do
Sign up.
Skateboards, some fan art, some pretty much everything. Hats.
Yeah, pretty much a whole bundle.
Maybe a basketball jersey with the Hazy Wolf. Just our catchphrase, which my favorite is, if you can't respect us, then you
respect the haze.
Respect the haze. I just think it would be a really cool idea. That's what he wanted to do. Another interview video we're gonna do is once we get my Camaro back, which will be in 2 weeks since winter is almost over, and it's getting worked on. So all the problems and fenders or anything that happened to it will be fixed. So that way it's in pretty much perfect condition. You know, we're gonna clean up the Subaru, and we are gonna give you guys a tour of both Purplehaze cars. We love the Subaru, but the Camaro is the baby. So yeah, that's pretty much it on that part. So on to the interview. Obviously, like we said, what, about 9 months ago? Well, not it was in August we made our first video.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Damn, man, time flies.
All right.
So about 7 months ago, when we made our first video, we did a introduction to the Purplehaze, and yeah, we talked about it, but I want this to be like a in-depth interview, so you guys actually get to know us, how we feel, how we think, because since we're not big yet, you know, or not that we have much time, we make a bunch of stupid videos. Obviously we know they're not like that good, but they're kind of funny and stupid, and they make us laugh, and it passes time.
Oh yeah.
So until we actually get the time to make good videos, you know, expect the silliness. We don't have time to go to California or travel or do a lot of shit like a lot of other YouTubers do.
But once I get out of high school, we'll definitely do some traveling. Like, no doubt, we will do some fucking traveling. Yes, sir.
How we came up with the name Purplehaze, because that wasn't even the original thing. I think you wanted to call it,
I think at first we just
B-ballers, like,
yeah.
What was some names that we used?
It was B-ballers. It was, the other one was Life of Brandon and Tim.
Cut no shit.
Cut no shit.
It's hard to remember. I still remember that day and like me telling you about it, and you got super excited, but I can't remember the names. The Camarados?
I don't think so.
Prayers to Artemis. The Wolf Gang.
The Wolf Gang. Put some autistic in your drink. Okay, so I was drinking a fucking mocha. Well, this motherfucker decides to say, put some autistic in your drink. I spit all over.
He spit that shit out.
I could not hold that laughing.
I'm 23. I was born in 96. He's turning 19.
I'm 18. I was born 2001, April 8th.
9/11. The way I view our heights, like, we're very similar in height. It's like Kobe and Michael. Like, it's hard to tell the difference.
Yeah.
I can't remember any of the other names, guys. It was something stupid, but then, like, I thought, like, our mascot for our school was Union Springs, New York, the Wolves, and we used to smoke weed. Like, I'm sure he still does, but I haven't been able to in a while. You know, I quit 2 years ago. And when I think about weed, I think about getting hazy and Purplehaze, like, you know, like Jimi Hendrix and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, I'm like, you know what? Why not the Purplehaze? And you're like, nigga, that doesn't sound too bad. You're like, holy shit.
It doesn't sound bad at all.
Like, at first, like, didn't we want to do, like, just a radio thing, or just using it as, like, a brand name and then just leaving it at that?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we thought about podcasts, you know, people seem to get really good at it. Joe Rogan is the main example I use.
Yep.
I mean, there's also the radio, but there's not that many good podcasts to even listen to on there. It's all become too political, and we don't even like to get. I mean, we'll mention politics and, you know, what you guys think, but it's not like a main focus on this channel. I hate that shit. It becomes too serious and argumentative, and that's not what we're trying to do. So we decided to do a podcast. At first it was just a silly idea I had, and he's like, no, let's do it. Let's do it. And I remember, like, racing to him that day, and I think I got there in like 40 minutes. I had the Camaro first time. No, it was the second time I went out to see you. And
dude, nigga showed up in a Camaro.
I know, he thought it'd be rusted out. He's like, no way, man. And we decided, if we're gonna do this, we need a good image. So the image you guys see of us leaning on the Camaro, which I think is our most iconic image.
Oh yeah.
And moment, honestly. We're like, if we're gonna go with a brand and the name, like, I decked out our channel, which is why it's purple, and, you know, it has like the purple weed falling in the background. Obviously the influences were Jimi Hendrix, Snoop Dogg, Willie Nelson, Wiz Khalifa, Bill Cosby. No, I'm just kidding. We call it Sleepy Doop.
Sleepy Doop.
Kitchen NyQuil.
We can't forget Bob Marley.
Of course. Not like more like musical, just like as a lifestyle thing. He smoked weed, he was good to his people, and he never forgot where he came from. Like,
hell no.
I'm hoping we can become big. Like, at first it started out as like just retracing our memories into Cuga or like Union Springs, just talking about like the past. And then it moved into like, oh, we could do podcasts. And then it just went into us doing like covers or traveling or driving the Camaro or seeing him test drive, just, or even shopping at the mall or like Fright Night. You should watch that video because there's this fake blood where he's like,
I used to be a blood.
I'll snuff you out.
Outta here.
He told his girlfriend, he's like, I'll snuff you, bitch.
I wanted to deck him so hard in his fucking face for saying that.
I know we
That's
didn't.
Disrespectful.
I know we didn't edit that the best, but it's more than made up for how that guy talks and what we saw. Also, we also caught on the podcast number 2, if you watch it. We were at Nice and Easy, and this like homeless man or something came up to you when I was inside, and he's like, "Hey, can you give me a ride?" And I saw the look on your face, and you were petrified.
Hell no.
We actually caught some nice moments. If you want to know one of the scariest moments for me, when we were taping the Kuga episode, we actually discovered some pretty cool stuff. We discovered that blown up barn in the fucking woods with that like house in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys look near the beginning of the video, we explore a haunted, like an abandoned factory in a small town in like New York. It's weird. And then obviously, you know, you have the like little Purplehaze rap sessions he has. Or just like when we try to give inspiring messages, don't bully, don't be a dick. Try to help people when you can. And our most important moment for now that we had yesterday during our shoot around, you should watch it. It's pretty good. Don't abandon what family you have. And I'm not talking about blood, because blood doesn't matter when it comes to who's there. I'm just talking about the connections you can make. Just don't throw them out over pettiness, because people can go at any moment. And that includes this channel, me, him. Like, yeah, we have ideas, but if we go, at least this channel will stay.
Facts.
And our message will have stayed.
Mm-hmm.
Since this is an interview for Purplehaze, and we mentioned some of the beginning, I guess we should ask ourselves questions. Like, I don't know if we really went fully into depth how we met, did we? I think we only mentioned it in the passing.
Yeah.
We met when I think I was in either 11th or 12th grade, like 2014 or 15. I think it was 2014. He was in 8th grade, and he wasn't very popular, and neither was I. I remember seeing him always walk with his teacher and tall for his age, and he seemed like a cool kid. And I know we met into the cafeteria. I don't remember exactly how we met, but I do remember us always meeting in the cafeteria sometimes, and you'd be like, "Yo, Tim!" And I'll be like, "Brandon, what up?" And, you know, the shit is, the shit's pretty funny, honestly.
Yeah. Definitely some good times in Springs.
Yeah, the thing about that school is where we come from, it's a small town with just maybe some small towns surrounding it to make up the actual school district. And it's like maybe where you'll find everybody everywhere else, but I always thought it was more exclusive to Cuyahoga County than anything else. You had the fake rednecks, the whores, the popular bitches, the jocks, the dickheads, the losers, the skaters, the potheads, the whatever the fuck emos, those things are, the goths,
yeah,
the teacher's pets,
basically,
the suicidal kids, the shotgun in the head kids.
Alright, I'm gonna say something about that real quick. Like, when I was in school, like, I would hear a couple of people saying, like, "Oh, I'm gonna end my life. There's nothing good for me." Nigga, you breathing? You got clothes on your body. You got shoes on your feet. You have a roof over your head. You're good for yourself. Like, what? Like, no disrespect to what people go through. I understand that shit. I went through that stage before as well. It's not a fun stage to go to. He went through that stage as well. Both of us did. But we ended up, thinking, like, there's so much...
Growing up. We ended up growing up and growing out of those phases.
Like, there's so much more in life that you can look at. Like, every single day, step outside, and just take a deep breath in and realize you are on this planet Earth and you are on this planet for a reason. Not to end it, not to be suicidal. You're on this earth to breathe. You're on this earth to live. Respect that and take ownership of that.
Pretty much. If you were to ask us our views on mental illness, and I'm sure we mentioned it in a podcast, but those are just in passing. Like, we can never really go into depth to it. My views on it have changed slightly. Like, when I was a child, seeing how my dad was so strong and he taught us to be strong, you know, being from a military family where the mom wasn't around. Like, for him, it's where a mom was around but a dad wasn't, so it was like the opposite. I got the discipline, he got the emotion.
Pretty much.
And that's kind of how we connect. It's like what I need, what you need. Anyways, my views on it, since I didn't really understand it or I didn't get it, I was a little harsh on it. And I still have the slightly same views. Like, I was like, what are you depressed about? You live in a first world country where you don't have to go to a well or go get shot or kidnapped by the Mexican cartel. Like, I always viewed it as, I live in a nice place. I go to a nice school, despite how much we rag on it. It's not that bad, at least education-wise. I'm not starving, and I'm not wearing rags, and I'm not living in, like, a downtrodden
cardboard box.
Exactly. I always viewed it as, like, at least I'm not in Africa where, like, I have to run 10 miles just to get clean water, and I don't have to worry about some random guerrilla team coming in and trying to shoot up the village or kidnap the girls. Or, like, I don't live in a Muslim country where they'll stone you for being different, whether it comes to drugs or being gay or trans. Just, I always felt more lucky. Then again, I was happy-go-lucky, but I always thought people who committed suicide or depression were either seeking attention or they weren't strong enough. And having gone through it, my views have slightly changed. Anybody can get depression. I still think you're a dickhead if you're just using it for attention. Because when I got depression, I remember wanting nobody to know.
Yeah.
I didn't want anybody to see. I didn't want anybody to know I was struggling. And I see so many people nowadays always writing on Facebook, I'm depressed.
My wrist is small.
Or they'll write on Facebook or like in these groups, oh, I'm depressed. Or they'll write on Reddit. And it's like, you're just repeating what the next fucker is saying down below you.
Pretty much.
And I learned that nobody can truly help you but yourself. Like, if you think you're weak, you're right and you're wrong. The man who says he can and the man who says he cannot is both right. That's what I learned. And I still think you're selfish if you kill yourself. You can bitch or downvote this video. I don't give a shit. That's how I think. But I understand more. I realize not everybody is as strong as me and him are. And not everybody has had it as good. But it's like, if you had a shitty life, which our lives weren't that pleasant, despite what you see now, that's what strength is. But
you have strength in your mind, in your heart. Use it.
What I learned now that I'm a grown-up is teenagers are also fucking stupid, and they're selfish, and they're shallow.
Cool. Agree with you on that. Yeah.
And I think that is what makes the depressions worse. And they can't see outside themselves. Like, I was a loser in high school. Like, nobody wanted to be my friend, and they always judged me. And as I got older, it's like, why would I want to be their friend? Why would I want to be a part of those groups? If they're just dicks, the people with, like, autism. Like, I had a friend once, Shane. He liked this girl. I'm not going to say her name because she was a cunt. But she used to pretend to be his friend and like him. And they would laugh with him, or that's what he thought, because he had a crush on her. But they would laugh at him. They're like, Shane, do something funny. And they did the same thing to me, but I don't have autism. I eventually learned it. I just had a crush on her. So I would do stupid shit to get her attention. Luckily, I did that when I was younger, not in high school. I did that when I was in, like, 6th grade. The mode of depression I had was I would cut myself. And I did it to feel alive and to actually feel something instead of loneliness and despair and disgust at, like, my inability to make friends. Like, I thought there was something wrong with me instead of them just being dicks. And his, from what I recall, what he said, was picking at his skin.
Even though I didn't cut, my other way was like picking at my skin. You know, it wouldn't even like it just basically just sat, just what's the word I'm looking for? I can't say it.
Set the tone.
No, satisfied me.
It made him content.
Pretty much.
But I've gone past that, and
Both of us have.
when I was 18, I had the same goals as everybody else, but mine were much more simpler. Like, I was 18 and I still felt like a loser. But before I graduated high school, I'm glad I had a military dad and a strong parent who actually pushed me to do shit instead of, like, allowing me to do what I wanted. He pushed me to get a job, to enter college, to get my own vehicle, to get my own bank account, to start my own credit, and to be smart with finances. You know, he taught me how to change a tire, take care of a vehicle. And I did that all. So I graduated at 18, and I had all that before I entered college. And I was in college at 18. It's the reason why I'm the man I am today. You know, why I have everything today. When I was 18, I'm sure you had the same views or the same goals. I wanted a job, a license, money, a car, and a place to call my own. And I now have all that. And it's hard for me to feel depressed or suicidal. Like, I don't need the friends anymore. Like, I have him and I have a fucking Camaro. You don't really need a girl or a pussy when you have a 2010 Camaro. No, I feel like the world is good when I have that. Everything I used to feel depressed about or hate about myself, I don't anymore. There's a difference between sometimes feeling lonely and being alone. I'm no longer alone. It's just sometimes I feel lonely, which I think is normal.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm with those people that I used to want to be friends with, like whenever I see them, they're the types that make me feel alone. And I never feel alone with him. Time flies by.
Pretty much.
So you don't need friends to be a good person or to want to have a good life. That's how I view it.
That I couldn't have said better myself, my friend.
That's what I'm saying. Another thing. Don't let people tell you that you have to forgive people. Oh, let's ask it as if it's an interview. How do you feel about forgiveness and how people say forgive and forget and move on? You want to start? Because I know you have a good point on that.
You don't...
Or strong thoughts.
You don't... If someone does something to you...
Alex, Josh.
Yeah.
TJ. Brandon.
Mm-hmm. If people do something to you that you really don't like, that they really cross the boundaries of, you don't have to forgive them, but you can't stay mad at them forever.
You let it go, but you never forget.
Exactly. You let it go, but you never forget.
I don't know how people can forgive and move on, or at least forget it. It's like, no, I may forgive just to allow myself a peace of mind, but whenever I think about it, I still feel some emotion because I'm a human being, and this isn't a Disney movie or like some Jesus
Pretty
character.
rainbows and sunflowers.
Where they're perfect. It's like, no, we're human beings. We're irrational.
Like a big rain cloud.
It's like JFK said, forgive your enemies, but never forget their names. And I've never forgotten anybody who's ever picked on me. And that's a long list. I forgave them.
There's always a favorite quote by Shakespeare that always stuck by me. Love is like a smoke made from the fumes of sighs, of being purged, a fire sparkling in lovers' eyes. That just says something to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like, I forgave the people, but I never forgot them. Like, whenever I could think about them, I just realized that their lives could be worse than ours, and they could be miserable. Alex, fucking cocksucker.
Yep.
And that makes me happy, because I became better because of it. I feel like if I wasn't picked on, I'd be soft. I want to read you my favorite quote. This helped me out whenever I was depressed or picked on. It made me feel more alive. Resume razors pain you, rivers are damp, acid stains you, and drugs cause cramp. Guns aren't lawful, nooses give. Gas smells awful, you might as well live.
Ooh, Dorothy Parker.
To me, that quote sums up life.
Pretty much.
You might as well live until the final breath. It's not like you have cancer. It's not like you have AIDS or HIV. What's there to bitch about in life? Yeah, you might not have friends or a girlfriend or the things you want in life, but you have things others don't. And I always remembered that. And that's why I try to help my friend out as much as he can.
Pretty much.
And he's on his way. He just reminds me of a younger me. The reason why me and him connect so well, and why we started Purplehaze in the first place, like the main idea is to help others like us, to make people laugh, to make their day better, to show that you can still be goofy and be taken seriously and have a life. You don't need to be serious all the time. You don't need people trying to tell you what direction your life needs to go into, what you need to do. Don't let them compare you to your family members. Like, say you have a brother and he's a loser, he isn't even around for his kids. Don't let even your own parents tell you that you're gonna turn out like them. That's bullshit. It's like one of my favorite movies, Bridge of Terabithia, and I've told him this. The scene where Jess, he doesn't get along with his father, and he's not close to him, and she asks him, she's like, Jess, are you, a carpenter or a hardware store manager? And he's like, no. She's like, are you your father? No. Do you do what your father does? Are you good at it? And he's like, no. Well, you're an artist and your father doesn't like art. You're not who your parents are. You are your own person with your own actions, mistakes, responsibilities, different thoughts. You may share the same DNA, but that doesn't mean you're not like that person. Well, you're not like that person. And I've had that thrown at me, not by my own father, mind you, but by others. And he's had that by his own family.
That I have.
And I think that's disgraceful. I think we can both agree, given the parental thing. Because my mom was never around, and his dad's a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
You can't choose.
I want to punch my dad in the face for that.
I don't blame you. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to punch my mom, but if she died, I wouldn't really cry. I love her, but I don't. A part of me loves her, but part of me is like, if she dies, she dies. She should have been around. And you can't act like a mom for one day just to feel good about yourself for a fucking month. Don't be surprised why you're not invited to shit. Or why you never hear from me. The quote is, and I got this from American Dad, but it still sticks. Stan said, you can't choose who your parents are. But what I've learned through life is you can choose who your father figures are, in his case, or mother figures in my case, or brother figures in both of our cases. Because I'm closer to him than my own brothers. Just because he gets me, we can have so much fun, and it's never a problem if we fight. We just smoke a cigar and chill out.
Pretty much.
That's what Purplehaze is all about. So when we say interview, we wanted to give you a full, in-depth story, not just like, oh, we, raced in the Camaro one day. Oh, let's start a YouTube channel. It's
like, no.
It's deeper than that. Like, we actually had to think about the name. We actually had to think about the brand. We actually had to think about the videos that we do. Sometimes it's impulsiveness, but that's what makes it fun. What we really want to do is we want to build on the image that we have now. So that means actually traveling to different states, and we want to start a segment like haunted houses or places, or going to Hollywood, you know, just seeing the signs. Like, we want to do a bunch of shit, but we can't because we don't have the time right now, and we're willing to wait. That's what makes channels grow. And I think we can do it. We're over 50 subscribers now, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but I didn't even think we'd keep on going that long, and I didn't even think we would be here right now.
Pretty much. But yeah, man, like all about Purplehaze is just about getting to know your inner self and getting to know who you actually are as a human being. Not just a fake scumbag who sits inside, just never gets out, plays video games all day. Like, that's not me. Like,
That's not life.
That's not life. I'm a person that likes to get out and do stuff. Like, I like to play basketball. I like to play football. I like to rap.
You know, that brings me to another great quote. You ever heard of Plato, the famous Greek philosopher?
Yeah.
Aristotle, Socrates.
Socrates is good, bro.
Even if these men never existed, which I think they do, but their teachings still stand.
Oh, yeah.
Plato said, if you are a writer, write. If you are an artist, draw. He also said, which I can agree with because I feel it. I mean, I felt it.
Oh, yeah.
At the touch of a lover, everybody becomes a poet.
For real.
Don't fuck hoes and stay in school, kids.
Fuck girls and drop out. No,
No.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Why the fuck did you drop out? My idol said, fuck bitches and smoke Henny. That's the wrong quote, asshole. These motherfuckers must be dumb.
Yo.
Man, even when we try to make a serious video, we can't do it.
I know.
That's what I like about it. Like, we're not just fake. Like, we actually have emotions, and we actually care about our fans. Like, we appreciate
fatality.
We appreciate every compliment you leave, whether it's Happy Guy Chicago flirting with him, or that one dude who said, you guys have good footage, you're funny as shit. We appreciate that, man.
Pretty much.
And not every video I upload is gonna be like Purplehaze related. Sometimes, like, I upload like my own thoughts, or, you know, his rap. Just it's a channel for everything that we want to include. But we try to upload as much as we can. We've been putting it off because, let's be honest, sometimes we just like to chill out and smoke and just drive and listen to music. That's what we do a lot. But I promise you, you will start to see more footage, especially during the summer when we can actually travel.
Chicka chicka boom.
That's pretty much all I had to say. Wait. Now that we actually have them, I don't think we've ever talked about the music that we actually listen to. I don't think we've ever once mentioned that, which is odd.
Yeah?
I don't think we have.
Mm-mm.
All right, well, since this is an interview, and we did promise you some, questions besides Purplehaze.
Want to go first?
Yeah.
The music that I listen to, obviously, rap. But I like some, like, modern rappers. Like, to me, Blueface is okay. Lil TJ is good. Polo G is good. But I like to take it way back. I like to take it to the Notorious Biggie, NWA, Tupac, Eazy-E. Personally, out of between Biggie and Tupac, Biggie was a better lyricist, but Tupac was like real life.
He told the story.
Like, Tupac would tell you.
He was the poet.
Like, of the events that were like already happening and everything.
The way I put it, no, I think Eminem's better than both of them in my personal opinion. But
like,
well, that's because I connect with them more.
Well, yeah.
But to me, because I'm a poet, I always related more with what Tupac was saying as a person than
smells good.
Than what
It smells like rubber.
Than what Biggie could say, because I didn't really like Biggie. I connected more with Tupac because I thought it was more of a real thing than just saying, "Oh, bitches with fat asses," and I'm the king of RB, whatever.
Like Tupac cared about his community. Tupac wanted to give back to his community. He didn't just want
to be the gangster.
He didn't want to write raps about fucking hoes, getting money, getting paid, getting laid.
Like, I feel like he was the first
real rapper besides Biggie.
Not like real rapper. Like, I know NWA said fuck the police, but that was just
coming
like
straight from the underground.
That was just like, yeah, it was good, but that was just like one message against the police because that's what they're facing. But what I mean, I feel like Tupac was like the first all-around political rapper. Like, he pointed out the gangster issues in his own community, the shootings, how the police are shitty, how the politicians lie to us. Like, I feel like he was the first, I guess, dare say it, Illuminati rapper. Like, not a part of it, just pointing out shit that nobody likes to talk about. Like, he didn't just talk about drugs or bitches or being the coolest dude on the block. Like, it's fun to be you.
Pretty much.
Like, a lot of music we listen to be honest, is my music, because I don't really like that rap shit, no offense. Like, we listen to the Beatles. A good song we've been listening to lately is...
Beatles is a great band.
I Don't Care by... I can't even pronounce it. It's called I Don't Care, Adam Gonatier. Just type that in. I can't pronounce the band name. We listen to 3 Days Grace, Rock, the classics, Jimi Hendrix, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, On the Road Again. That just...
On the road again.
I would love to smoke weed. That dude would just blow everybody out of the water.
I would love to smoke a big fat blunt with Willie.
Snoop Dogg's good. How do we feel about relationships? I feel like that's another good topic. I'll go first on this one. Yeah. I know we said some things and we mentioned some things here and there in a couple of videos, but when it comes to relationships, you don't... Obviously, you keep your partner's interest and opinions in mind out of respect and love. But you also have a life out of the relationship, and you can't always be up your partner's ass. Like, clingy is fine in certain situations, but not all the time. Affection is warranted, and it's good, but not, like, to the point where you're just, like, like, snuffing them out.
Fuck Chris Brown.
I would not pull out of Rihanna. Alright.
Different topic.
The point is that it was kind of like my last relationship. Like, chip in on a date. Let's make it equal. Not that feminist shit. Like, equalitarian, like humanist. Sometimes pay for the date. Sometimes offer gas. Like, it can't always be the guy. Sure. It can't always be the girl. Like, you should make it an equal. You should make it a partnership.
And look all the smoke that's coming out.
I know. Like, you shouldn't try to make your partner jealous. You shouldn't try to talk shit to them when you're angry and then try to suck up. It's like...
Imagine the cop pulling up on us right now.
I know. It's like... What I learned is my own standards and my own red flags, even my own flaws. I wouldn't want to date a girl that's always going out to the club with her friends. It's like, if you're in a relationship...
That's a big X.
Why are you going to the club in general? I never got that with this generation. I never liked clubs, and I don't like to drink. If my partner likes to drink, that's fine. But if you're going out and dressing like a slut every day, I wouldn't be with you. And I actually got a question for you guys that you can answer yourself. And I asked him earlier. I was thinking about this for a little bit because, feminists always like to bring it up every fucking day. Rape, 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 rape. It's not what you think. If your girlfriend, say she was a good girl, everything you could ever ask for. If your girlfriend got raped, and she had the rapist baby, like she wouldn't abort it, would you stick around?
No.
I said no. Because just like I said earlier, you don't owe anyone, and you are free to walk away from the relationship at any time. I mean, if you're married, it's more difficult, but I never want to get married just because of what it does to guys, especially in the court system. I wouldn't stick around. I would feel bad, but I wouldn't raise another man's baby if it wasn't mine. And that includes cheating, adoption, anything. I always said it has to be mine. And I wouldn't stick around for that situation. I didn't ask for that, and neither did she, but she's the one choosing to keep the man's baby. And why would you do that to a child? Like, imagine that child not growing up with a father and them learning that and being bullied for that.
Slurp up.
I wouldn't be able to, bro, I wouldn't be able to do it.
No.
Also, to the girls and guys, because it goes both ways on this topic, it shouldn't be a sexist issue. If you've had more than like 10 vaginas or dicks or like relationships, like even more than 20, because we got taken like the free love generation that this generation is, I would wonder what the fuck is wrong with you, why you can't keep a relationship, why you've had that many, especially at a young age. Not to mention that you're more than likely to be carrying an STD. It's like, I would have to, that's a red flag.
Oh, that's a double red flag right there.
That's what I'm saying. Have respect for yourself and have respect for your partner. That's my view on love.
Pretty much.
Would you say anything different?
Hell no.
That's why I like him. Me and him have a lot of the same views. That's why we connect so much. I view him as like a younger me, honestly. You know, he's my little brother. Not like a Shaq and Kobe thing.
Oh, that shit fucking hurt.
And watch how you pierce your ears. That shit can become infected. And clean your fucking ears.
Definitely. That shit fucking hurt, bro.
I don't know if I have any more questions.
I think we pretty much summed it up.
Yeah, because we said some facts about ourselves. We said some of our views and, you know, our whole...